Another round of applause to Jill Seago. Tonight, every Toastmaster meeting, we have a prepared speaker, and today we have the wonderful, the beautiful Elaine Lawrence, and her speech is entitled "No Family Regrets." Is it right?
Do not neglect your family.
Do not neglect your family. From Elaine Lawrence. A round of applause to Elaine Lawrence.
Welcome, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome, guests. Today my topic is do you neglect your family? And I've prepared this speech on the way to Hyde Park this morning. Okay, so the question I'd like to ask you is, when was the last time you picked up the phone to your sons or your daughters, your mother or your father or your cousins, and asked them how they were doing for the day? We don't do it often enough. We don't inquire about our family's health and well-being. And there are several reasons perhaps we don't do that. Because perhaps they get on our nerves. Perhaps they lie to us too much. Perhaps they spend too much money. Perhaps they have too many bad habits. And what we do is we simply try to avoid them. But if you think about it, they are our family. They are our blood, flesh and blood. And we need to show them love and attention. Okay. So let's decide now, what 3 things do you think you could do to show your family true love? Your brother, your sister, your mum, your father. What 3 things could you do today that would show them that you truly love them and introduce yourself into their life on a regular basis? Anybody? What 3 things could you do today?
Phone them.
Phone
Bring
them.
them up.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Bring them up. Bring them up.
Oh yeah, real mother.
What else could we do?
Tell them you love them. Give her a hug.
Tell them you love them. We don't tell our family enough that we love them. And sometimes it's because we're unaccustomed to telling them we love them. Sometimes we feel embarrassed. Sometimes we feel that we might look small. But it's very effective. Whenever my son or my sister or my cousins tell me that they love me, I'm touched. And then I imagine, how would they feel if I returned the favour? If I phoned them on a regular basis and told them that I love them? Can you imagine how they would feel? So who today is going to go home and phone a very dear member of the family and tell them that they love them? Who today? Very good. Very good. So in essence, we need to pay more attention to our family. And hopefully today I've given you 3 good ways to keep in touch with your family from today onwards. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you very much, Elaine, for that brilliant speech. Now to evaluate Elaine and close today's meeting is Andrew.
Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, Elaine brought us a very moving topic today, how to be more in contact with your family. Well, I've taken a leaf out of your book, Elaine. This is my mum and dad here. You see, you take your family with you where you go. Oh, yes. Now, Elaine gave us a beautiful speech. The thing that I liked greatly was that she was very composed at the beginning. There was no trace of nerves here. A very composed speech. She also used something that we in Toastmasters call the rule of 3. She gave us an example and she divided it into 3 to make it easier for us to understand and listen to. I would have liked a little bit more volume in the voice, but it's very difficult here at Speaker's Corner, and she coped very bravely and very well. And I would fully commend Elaine on her lovely speech today. Give her a round of applause. Now, Any Toastmasters meeting is full of special guests. Every single one of you is a special guest today. We hope that you will come along to our clubs. Let me just tell you the names of those clubs again. We had the Berkeley Square Speakers. We had the Early Bird Speakers. And we also had the Grosvenor Square Speakers. And our timer today, who also spoke, was Mr. Tahar Andre, and he came from the Whitehall Speakers. Let's go! I have the delight of being the Area 45 Governor. I overview and look after these clubs. I have an assistant. You've seen him today once. His name is Aaron Wood. And I've asked Aaron to come to this podium to tell us in 60 seconds what the Toastmasters movement means to him and what it has done for him. Come to the stage.
Well, a year ago, I stepped through the doors of a Toastmasters club. I was terrified. These weird people with their traffic lights. It was such a strange situation. But in that year, the confidence that I have gained, the skills I have learned, and the leadership which I've seen within the movement has helped me in my local area to do a lot of work locally. It's also now led me to go onto the list of parliamentary candidates. So I'm hoping in 2015 to be selected for a seat somewhere in the UK. So who knows, in 2015 I may be back on Speaker's Corner with a whole different message. Thank you all very much.
So now comes the even more fun part. Members of Area 45 with their guests are going to hold a picnic. Hooray! I suggest we use this grassy spot over here. This is where we should gather for our picnic, folks. It's been delightful to see you all today. Can I have hands up in the air if you've never ever heard of Toastmasters before? Who hadn't heard of Toastmasters? Well, you have done now. So do come along and join us. It's been a pleasure, and also a special round of applause because hiding at the back there is Division Governor Paul Ward.